Hello, my name is Navdeep Singh Magat. I have done this construction project management course from Skyfi Labs, and as a part of the last assignment that has been given to me, I have to make this video explaining what did I learn. Apart from the theoretical part that I learned, how to plan a project, how to execute it, how to control and monitor it, I will primarily be concentrating on Primavera software made by Oracle that I have used in this course. uh, we'll start from the very basics, from the hierarchy. Here we'll see the project portfolios. We created these portfolios, L&T Enterprise. Then this is a project called residential building, and this one was commercial project that I built just out of my own whims, out of the course. Okay, so we'll close it. After that, we created EPS, which is next in hierarchy. This construction project management. Then we have created all these small projects, like for critical path method I had created a separate project. uh, this particular project deals with EVS and CPM both. EVM, that is earned value management, which we have executed in this project here. We'll see about that later on, that we are behind schedule. Okay, basics first. So these are all the tabs: activities, projects, resources, WBS, work breakdown structure. These are all the buttons to do different activities. This is to create a new project. This is to open an existing project. This is to close it. These are the other buttons. This is for projects. If we want, these are the projects. So if we just click on this will appear, projects will appear. And these are resources. Again, you can see here are the resources. If we want to assign them to any activity, these are the reports, tracking, activities. These are all the activities, and you can see the activities tab also. We'll see more about that later on. And this is the work breakdown structure, and all the other buttons that I haven't used in this course yet. Okay, so we'll start from the basic. We have a project at our hand, a building project, in which there are clearly laid out activities, and we have simply broken down the work breakdown structure into two parts. The first part is substructure, and the second part is superstructure. Superstructure above the ground, substructure excavation, backfilling, and all, plinth level. Okay, we go to the activities now. Since we have performed earned value management system on this particular project, so you see all these schedule performance index, cost performance index buttons here, tabs here. Otherwise, it is much simpler. If we see a project without EVM, it is much simpler. It has all the details regarding the start of an activity, the progress of an activity, resources, and all. So we can just change those tabs from here. I'm just bragging about my expertise due to the course. So we can just, if we want to see the total float, which will not be relevant in this case, I think it is already, it's okay. Activity name can be, I think it should be moved up. Okay, this is better. Okay, now these are the activities that we have that we have planned: excavation, cuboid footing, trapezoid footing, columns, plinth level beam, plinth slab, 230 mm wall, 115 mm wall. Remember, 230 mm wall is measured in cubic meters, because it is a thick wall, and 115 mm wall is measured in square meters because it is a thin wall. Then top beam, roof, level slab, up until the interior plaster. So these are the activities, and these are the original durations given to us, right? Number of days. So what have we done till now? We scheduled, we scheduled, and we updated the progress to see where we stand. If we look at the schedule performance index, it is 0.65, which is less than 1. Less than 1 means we are behind schedule. We are not working properly. Some of the things are not coming as the way they should. Okay, that gone. Okay, that was earned value management system. And let me tell you something about activities that I learned. Like this activity, cuboid footing. If we see its predecessor is excavation. This is quite a simple Gantt chart, because one activity comes after another. There are no two activities dependent on one or vice versa. So this is a relatively simple project. So I'll just show you the predecessor. The predecessor to cuboid footing is excavation. This, logically, right? Then trapezoid footing, its predecessor is cuboid footing. And also notice that the relation is Fs, which means if the predecessor activity will finish, only then the next activity can start. Okay, so that takes me to another interesting thing. Look here, in this activity, the predecessor activity is okay, 230 mm wall, but the relation is SS, start, which means simultaneously. We can start these activities simultaneously, right? It is not necessary to do them one after another. So this there, let's see how we fare on this project. And successors, we have, okay, resources. Yeah, this is also an interesting one, because without allocating resources, how will we see what we need? How will we ascertain what we need for a project? So please forgive me for the shaking of the camera, because I'm having a hard time controlling it. I'm right at the edge of the chair. Okay, so these are the resources. Okay, we add a resource by going to the resource tab, and just bear with me for a second. And okay, we create a new resource, like maybe a, how would you like it, maybe a pokelane. As it is a non-labor resource, it has been marked as such, but we should get it out first, because it is dependent on the 17th activity. So we'll go here and press left. This makes it an independent resource. So you can see other resources also that I have created: mason, mazdoor, bishti, mixer operator, mixer, vibrator. These were all given in the course, so I created them as such. And let's go back to our project now and its resources. Oh, I'm sorry, I just opened the खुल जा भाई, क्यों मरवाएगा. Okay, so here we come to the resources. I had accidentally just clicked on the projects tab, so it took me to the entire project portfolio thing. Okay, So for this particular activity, A1070 115 mm wall, we need Bishti, Mason and Mazdoor. Okay, and these are the units that we need: 2 a day, 3 a day, 6 a day. Okay, budgeted units, actual regular units, remaining units, everything is there. It has told us that it has to start on 12th of October and finish on 14th. So we can see there are 2 days. What is the original duration for this activity? 2 days. So the software has taken everything into account, and we have checked the predecessor, we have checked the resources, status we don't need as yet, as of now. And these are the journal: responsible manager, project manager, primary source, Mason. Okay, activity calendar. Yeah, when we created most of our projects initially with a 5x8 calendar, which meant an 8-hour day, 8-hour day shift. In this particular project, we were told to create a calendar, right? To create a calendar. Oh, I hope I'm right. No, I'm not. Calendar. So this is our default calendar now. 5x9, 5 days into 9 hours. Earlier it was 5x8. So if I want to modify it, I can go into modification. We have to click total work hours per day. Here you can see it is 9. Then if I go to work week, you can see that it is 0 and 0 on Saturday and Sundays, but 9 hours per day on work weeks. Okay, so this is how we have created our work calendar. Here we go. Okay, so hopefully when I come to the end of the project, I'll be able to finish it on time and on budget. This is a Gantt chart again. You have seen it now. This scrolls down really fast, so it always creates a problem for me. Anyways, I can always go here and then again click here, then I can open project. Okay, let us do a couple of things more that I learned. Okay, now if we have to assign another resource or maybe a predecessor, how do we do it? We just click on this and we click on this supposedly, and we click on this. So did you just see the change in the Gantt chart? Yep, but we'll have to undo it. We have to go to the activity, we have to go to the predecessor. We just added this, so I think we'll have to remove it now, because we just did that hypothetically just to tell you that I know it. Okay, so this is pretty much it, what I have learned in this construction project management course. Basically they've told me all the theory. I can we can hold a test or an interview or whatever you guys deem fit, but I thought it prudent to only explain the Primavera software, which is the backbone of this whole thing. Okay, I learned critical path method. I can also tell you about it. Here it is, CPM1. I'll just quickly brush through it, won't bore you with the details. Okay, so this is the critical path method, example 1. This is activity A, B, C, D, E. Again you see schedule performance index. I don't want it here because it is not necessary in making a network diagram or precedence relationships. It is a pretty basic tool, the CPM. Okay, I just went ahead of myself. I don't want schedule performance index to be at the top. I want original duration, maybe. Activity name is there. Start. Definitely I'll finish. Total float, yes. Okay. So this is the critical path method. These are the predecessors, again the same thing, FS relationship. In this we have named the activities rather than just making them sound like a Terminator model, A1000. So okay, this is about it. This is what I have learned from the course of construction project management offered by Skyfi Labs. Guys, I must tell you, your content was fabulous. The delivery was very good. It did not have any accent. It was super easy to understand. Yes, I did not have a management background as such. So I had to do some homework on my own on YouTube, but you guys were very thorough in your approach. Please keep up the good stuff. Thank you.